All right, everyone. My name is Pascal Borel, and I'm not speaking to you from the Swiss mountain, but from Geneva in Switzerland. Today, I'm reading you a text, the book that I have written both in French and English, named 2024. The purpose of the book is to give you a roadmap to help you reconstruct the strength of our democracies. You will find the book on Amazon in French and English, of course, and you will also find it both in French and English on our website www.forovet24.com. It is totally free of charge, and you will have a comment section below each and every chapter in which you can leave your judgment, your appreciations, your criticism, and I'll use it as a driver of my personal growth. I will answer the comments, that's for sure. Today, chapter 12, and the chapter 12 is named Solution, and that solution is social non-cooperation. I'm going to describe to you what is social non-cooperation. Thank you very much. A few citations. The strength of a man is measured by what he does with his power. Nonviolence is the power of a strong man. The only way to win a war is to organize the peace. Death is nature's greatest gift, for it alone allows rebirth. Non-cooperation with evil is a duty, just as cooperation with good is also a duty. In 2024, social non-cooperation is your duty as a human being. You owe it to yourself and to all those whom you love. You instinctively know from the age of 7 what is right and what is wrong. Trust your instincts. Eliminate from your life and from your thoughts anyone who drags you into a war, no matter how justified they make that war seem. You must relearn how to engage in non-armed conflict when it leads to the truth and when it grants you your freedom. You can choose non-violent action in which no weapons, no insults, no contempt, and no exclusion are involved. Whatever they may be, weapons have no place in your plan, and not a single drop of blood will be shed. Social non-cooperation turns today's enemies in tomorrow's allies. You want to restore your leaders' pride in public service. You want to integrate them into your higher model. No leaders can be happy if their people are not. You want your leaders to rediscover the joy of doing what is right in the interest of the greatest number. You do not blame anyone. The politicians who are the people who have most abused their position, the people who have the worst track records, will be transformed into the people who can offer you the best future. Whether you live in a democracy, in a dictatorship, or even in tyranny, you want to restore strength to your governance system to put it back in the service of good, in the service of people, in the service of earth. You want to make it the essential tool for the social and economic success of your nation. You do not accept social chaos that leaves the most deprived in despair and suffering, ultimately leading them to death. You do not destroy existing infrastructures. You do not seize other people's property. You leave intact the capital that is the foundation of tomorrow's world. Social non-cooperation is built on the example left by Mahatma Gandhi, who successfully used it to restore full sovereignty to India and Pakistan. But you will have to go even further, as your goal will be to restore strength to local communities, while enabling the global community to give you the tools that unite us all. Whatever your culture, your religion, or your custom, ask yourself, what are the human values that unite us all? How can you impose them benevolently, giving consideration only to a platform that will allow humanity's future to flourish with respect in exchanges of spirituality, knowledge, goods, and services, and in collaboration with all your fellow human beings? Nature has endowed us with the same attributes for all the essential points of our existence as human beings. We all receive life in the same way and in turn transmit it through the same mechanism. Whatever your culture, your priority is the love you have for yourself, for your husband, for your wife, for your children, and for your parents. Anyone who says otherwise is an unhappy person. We are all eager to learn and then pass on our knowledge to our children, and anything that prevents you from doing so harms you biologically. We are born this way. Our brains, empty at birth, are pre-wired to receive language, knowledge, and above all, the values that unite us. It is through this that generation after generation, we rise ever higher, standing on the shoulders of our parents. We all want to share our knowledge, share our culture, and learn about others as a driver of our personal enrichment. We all live through spiritual exchanges, but also through the material exchanges of goods and services made possible by the financial system. The question that I want you to answer is this: what actions can you take personally to ensure that your country, your nation, gives you the governance system that you deserve, gives you the constitutional tools that you need to put our human fundamentals at the center of the equation, and finally, give you back your sovereignty as promised by Demos Kratos, the people decide? Let me give you my personal answer to this question. My goal is to offer you a roadmap which will not expose you to any existential risk, to any legal risk for you, your loved ones, or your community at large. My solution is social non-cooperation to restore the constitutional amendments that are necessary to re-establish your freedoms and duties that you inherited from your Greek ancestors, the founding fathers of our democracies. It is a fundamental question about the very nature and existence of governance systems, and in particular of democracies. These must now evolve fundamentally to ensure that they are uniquely in the service and at the disposal of the only sovereign and the only creator of wealth, the people, the citizen. You want to allow the peoples of the earth to reappropriate their responsibilities and the freedoms associated with them in the domains of access to the value of their work, which determines their purchasing power, education, health, access to information, and access to energy, to name just a few. To do this, all humans must understand and redraft the rules that grant you your freedom to think, to undertake, to start a family, and to educate your children. Your duty is to make accessible and understandable the constitutional and legal rules that unite us. These rules are not merely a driver of power serving a tiny minority that complicates and interprets them according to their needs and the trends of the moment. These rules define the scope of action for all citizens in their respective roles and establish the safeguards necessary to ensure that no group of individuals can ever encroach on the freedom of others. Social non-cooperation aims to evolve and restore strength to your constitutional, legal, financial, governmental, education, and health systems. To succeed, you must direct your action to where it will have the most immediate impact, without violence, with serenity, with confidence, and knowing that you will reach your goal. Taking to the streets, engaging in physical conflict with the police, smashing windows, getting fires to cars, vandalizing infrastructures, and other acts of destruction are absolutely forbidden because they will only justify and reinforce the legal violence of states against you. This is exactly the opposite of what you want. You must hold your government officials accountable by placing them in a situation where the best choice is to have no choice. Whatever your situation, if you have only one choice because all the others have been eliminated, it must necessarily be the right choice. At a minimum, you will have to test the value of this solution as it is the only option left open to you. This is your goal. You must disrupt the state and financial machinery to prevent it from operating under its current configuration. Politicians will change nothing unless they are forced to so do, like the dinosaurs who would never have given way to mammals without being compelled to do so by a major environmental shift. Asking politicians to change anything without backing them into a corner is a dream that will never materialize. It is literally like asking the turkey to prepare the Christmas dinner. You must disrupt the financial flows that feed our leaders, leading us into wars. You must disrupt the financial flows that permit our leaders to draft constitutional, legal, and international rules so complex and full of exceptions that they are unworkable. You must disrupt the financial flows that siphon off the value of your work into the state's coffers. At the same time, You must disrupt our economies by ceasing to use any services for predefined periods. Even better, you must push the social machinery into overdrive to test its viability, to expose its inability to truly provide you with what you need. You must deprive the state of its revenue sources while forcing it to fulfill all promises that politicians have made to citizens, knowing full well that they cannot keep their promises. Your goal is not to destroy the state, but to compel it to properly manage the citizens under its care. You will use social non-cooperation based on the let it rot or the lying flat of our Chinese friends to remove the lifeblood of war, namely money, from those who steal it from you by appropriating the value of your work through direct taxes, indirect taxes, inheritance taxes, inflation, just to name a few. This is not the time for war. This is the time for collaboration. Mahatma Gandhi reclaimed India from the world's greatest colonial power without shedding a drop of blood. You can confidently imitate this model because it has proven so effective. It is the one that has worked the best, and it will work again in your favor. Absolutely, certainly, and inexorably. You will use your social non-cooperation to reappropriate what is rightfully yours. You will do this through example, not through violent actions, nor through sanctions against individuals or legal entities or nations. You do not require a scapegoat. You do not want to point fingers or punish anyone. This is not at all the time for revenge. You want to learn from the mistakes of the past and use them as a lesson to better build our future. That is social non-cooperation. Thank you so much for your benevolent and kind attention. Peace out.